We often hear this said without hesitation. Women are more emotionally intelligent than men, more in touch, more aware, more connected. It feels obvious, almost self-evident, right? You see it in conversations, in relationships, in media, in everyday life. Women simply express more, and men are the ones holding back. And from that, the conclusion quietly forms. But what if that conclusion is built on something we haven't examined close enough? Welcome to Look Again, the channel where we do not tell you what is true, but where we question what you accept and assume to be true. To be fair, this idea of emotional intelligence didn't appear out of nowhere. Most of us have seen it play out in arguments, in emotional moments, in the way people respond. Women often seem more expressive, more open with what they feel. Men, more contained, more reserved. And over time, this pattern becomes familiar. So familiar that we stop questioning it. It just becomes how things are. But let's slow down for a moment. When we say someone is emotionally intelligent, what exactly do we mean? Is it about how much they feel or how much they show? Think about the next time you see an emotional situation unfold, an argument, a disagreement, a tense conversation. Pay attention not to who feels more, but to what actually happens. One person raises the voice, their tone changes, their emotions become visible, immediate, undeniable. The other becomes quieter, still, maybe even withdrawn. From the outside, it looks like one is emotional and the other is not. But is that actually what's happening? Or is it just what's visible? There's an interesting pattern that begins to appear when we look closer. In some observations, men and women report experiencing similar emotional intensity, similar highs, similar lows, but the expression looks different. One externalizes, the other contains. So now the question becomes, are we measuring emotion or are we measuring expression? Because something here doesn't fully add up. If two people feel something with similar intensity, but one only shows it outwardly, it becomes very easy to assume that one feels more, simply because it's easier to see. But visibility and depth aren't necessarily the same thing. Maybe emotional intelligence isn't about how clearly emotion appears on the surface. Maybe it includes something less visible, something quieter, like what happens before expression or what happens instead of it. So there are a few layers, and let's start with the first one, which is expression versus experience. We often associate emotional openness with emotional awareness. If somebody expresses everything they feel, we assume they are more in touch with it, more in touch with themselves, with their emotions. But the next time you feel something strongly, pause for a moment before you express it, before you act on it. What is actually happening inside? Is the expression the same as understanding? Or does understanding require a bit of a distance? The second layer is what we'll refer to as behavior in conflict. Now, look at a different situation. An argument between two people. One escalates, the other stays calm. From the outside, the calm one appears cold, uncaring, disconnected, while the one escalating appears passionate, engaged, emotionally vested. But what if we look at it slightly differently? If one person reacts immediately and the other one holds back, which one is closer to the emotion and which one has distance from it? And what does being in touch actually mean in that moment? There's also another detail that goes unnoticed. Sometimes the absence of reaction is interpreted as the cause of the escalation, as if not responding the right way or the appropriate way or the expected way somehow creates the intensity that follows. So the question shifts again. Are we reacting to the emotion itself or to the other person, or how the other person is expressing it? And let's look at layer number 3. I mean, there are more layers, but let's just look at these 3. And that's internal versus external processing. You see, some people process emotion outward through words, tone, body language. Others internally through silence, reflection, restraint. But if one process is visible and the other one is not, which one gets recognized and which one gets overlooked? And does it mean that one is right and one is incorrect? And if so, who decides? So if we follow these patterns, it begins to extend beyond just one idea. Like I said, there are many layers to this. In many situations, what is most visible often becomes what we value, what we label, what we believe to be true. But if visibility shapes perception, then what matters to everything that isn't seen? If expression and experience are not the same, but we treat them as if they are, how would we recognize the difference? If one form of emotional response is consistently labeled as intelligent and another is dismissed, what does that do over time? And if certain responses are encouraged while others are misunderstood, what kind of pattern begin to repeat? So when we say that one group is more emotionally intelligent than another, what exactly are we measuring? Is it what is felt or what is shown? Is it awareness or expression? And if something as familiar as emotion can appear so differently on the surface, what else might we be interpreting based only on what we can see?